So hello everyone, we're here at Brands Hatch for week number 3 of the iRacing.com Prototype and GT Challenge Series here in Kent, England. I am Josh Mertz, alongside me, who you could call him Randy or Randolph, whichever you prefer, Chenowth, here in the commentary box for the Automotive Sports Network. As we are getting ready to go here, as I have to fix, he is proving that I know what I'm doing, I have to fix this, so you're going to see a fancy graphic from Windows on the screen at the moment, because Arrow's not on. This is a brilliant way to start. So, we were racing yesterday, in the race, obviously, yesterday, and we crashed.
Well, I was racing, you were wrecking.
And you said you wanted to make fun of me for wrecking, I guess.
Well, that's not the only thing I want to make fun of you about, but I will resist.
Wow. Anyway.
Anyway, Brands Hatch, we have 38 cars registered, approximately 80% of which are Ford GTs. This is going to be crazy.
So we have to apply that and hide the UI. Okay, so we're going to roll the grid here with the fancy graphics that we have. Andy Fuller is on the pole. Well, that's not correct at all. Thank you for... IRTVO, you are retarded. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to click that off. And we're getting good here. So we're just going to pop up the UI, and it's going to look incredibly unprofessional, but let's just go with it. On pole, Mac Backham in car 13 with a 111.147. And then alongside him, Marco Acitiacano. We had Acitiacano battling with Paul Ilbrink last week at Motegi. On the second row of the grid, Andy Fuller with Frank Hoogmans. And row 3 has Donal Fitterer and Gino Scarpino Sr. Those are the 6 Prototype 2 cars. Then William Levike and Lieven Draconingen are in the 4th row, which is the first row from GT1. Then Peter Ridley and Timo Vernhost are in the 5th row of the grid. Daniel Montiel and Stefano Guriali, row 6. Row 7 has Thorsten Kuipers and Michael Schneider. Row 8, Richard Leishman and Dave Starkweather. And like Randy said, there's about 500 Ford GTs. Row 9, Nick Thiessen on pole in GT2 at a 124.671. Jonathan Hall alongside. Row 10, David Garcia and Matt Orr. Row 11, Duarte Pires and Howard McMillan. Row 12, Robert DeRouge and Jasper Bronersweg. I probably just butchered your name completely, as I am a really good pronunciator of names. As row 13, Jonathan Buttel and Sergio Garcia. Row 14, Liam Stroud, Thomas Hoopt. Row 15, Stephen Backus and Andy Frame. Row 16, Kevin Duell, Wim Stockmans. Row 18, as I probably just miscounted, Mike McCloskey and Michael Hogg. Row, I don't even remember. What was it, row 18?
19.
This is why I failed algebra. Has Ines Strader and Jean-Philippe Dreyer, and the final row of the grid has Varvoglai Peter and Frank Schroeder. So that is...
While we were doing that, the GT1 pole leader lagged out and is reconnecting as we speak.
So William Levike has dropped from the session, but he's back apparently, so that's unfortunate. So we're going to hide the UI here. It doesn't look like IRTVO is connected to the session, so we have to close it and reopen it. It's going relatively well here. That's complete sarcasm.
Except for all the parts where it's not, but that's okay.
The prototypes are rounding the final turn as my computer is lagging like crazy as
they're taking the green.
We are green at Brands Hatch for the prototypes. Mac Backham leads them into turn 1 as my computer is completely locked up with IRTVO. So we're going to get this to work shortly. We have to drag that window down.
You need to get through clean, get spread out. GT1s are doing so as well. The Fords are where, if there's anything interesting going to happen early on, this is where it's going to happen. Because of how many of them there are. I mean, there are millions of them.
As
Everyone gets through the first few corners clean.
as I'm trying to get this to work here, and it's not being very friendly. So we have to load Task Manager. Oh, the start menu is not even working. Why does this always happen to me? Okay, so we're going to close whatever is taking up so much my CPU is completely dead.
Mac Backham leads the first lap. Closely following is Marco Sidiacano and then Andy Fuller in third. GT1. Levin Joikinen leads the first lap in GT1, followed by Peter Ridley, Timo Verhoest, Daniel Montiel, and Stefano Mirali, all within close to behind. And in GT2, Nick Thyssen leads the first lap, followed by David Garcia, Matt Orr, Duarte Pierce, and Howard McMillan.
So I think I got it to work now. I don't know what the issue is here, as my mouse is effectively lagging. That's something you should be proud of if your mouse is lagging.
Well, you know you have to be worried when taskmanager.exe crashes. Had that happen before.
I don't understand. My CPU is at 100%. Let's turn my fans all the way up to high, and if my computer dies, it's not my problem. Maybe we shouldn't be writing in 720p.
Roro.
Oh my god, what's going on? XSplit. What's wrong? Go away. Leave me alone. Okay, so we're going to stop in 720, and we're going to restart in 480. Okay, so we should be back now. As you can see this fancy iRacing.com loading screen. I changed it to 480p, so I'm sorry that you guys have to deal with standard definition now. But this is the growing pains of a new company. You have to figure out how to work things. And I don't understand how in the world that happened, but I changed anisotropic filtering.
I'm the new guy.
Yeah, I'm going to blame it on you. It's all your fault, Randy.
No word.
Yeah. So we're loading up the sim, and I turned off anisotropic filtering. I think it was because there's 38 cars, because we were fine last go-around with the WCRA IndyCar. So I changed that, and we should be good to go now. We will see here once we... What are you doing? It's saying something about there's... Oh! IRTVO just crashed.
Wonderful.
Okay, so I guess we're just going to have to do this without the assistance of IRTVO because someone knows how to write a brilliant program. So leading, we're going to find him here. Mac Backham in prototypes. Second is Marco Sidiacano, who is passing Michael Hogg in car number 26. I'll blame it on all the Fords, and I'll blame it on you. It's all your fault.
It's always my fault.
Now, this would have been even worse had we tried to do a radio broadcast, because that was just going swimmingly. Okay, we should be good to go now. So let's just apply to hide the UI, and let's do it. So Mac Backham is leading in prototypes, passing...
Got about a 2-second gap.
Timing and scoring says 3.2 over Marco Sidiacano as he's passing all these Fords. As I have yet to learn all the Fords. Leading in GT2 is Jonathan Hall, it says, by timing and scoring. Although that's...
Yeah, Jonathan's been really fast this week in that Morgan Stanley car. He ran away with our race yesterday on Saturday. All split. And he overtakes GT1, which is always a bad sign when you're a GT2 car.
As he passes Jonathan Boutel, Mac Backham does. Boutel has that nice caution type thing on the back of his car. I saw that. I nearly crashed into him yesterday.
Yeah.
While I was crashing into you.
I'm actually curious if it hashed rear bumper attributes to more accidents than it avoids.
We'll have to ask him later on. We're gonna drop back to that GT2 battle. Car number 1, Jonathan Hall. It's not a fun thing to see a plain white car.
That's a Morgan Stanley car. He's got the
Oh, yeah, it is.
MorganStanley.com.
Yes, I was not paying attention. Wow, that just made me sound like a complete retard.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So anyways, back here running for 4th and 5th, Matt Orr, Nick Tisson, and Duarte Peters are all bumper to bumper though.
Oh, that's nice.
Fighting it out.
I'm sounding like a little child. The ticker on the top of the screen actually sorts by classes, and it's not being picked up by that, so we have to turn arrow on. So we have that fancy box that pops up again. Wow, this is just going well. It was going perfectly well before we start this, and then we started it, and then it just completely fell apart.
Let's be honest, it fell apart before we ever started. Anyways, leading GT1, Flavin and Joykinen with about a 4-second gap to Peter Ridley.
Okay, relaunches arrow. And there we have it. We have the fancy stuff now at the top of the screen, and it sorts by classes. So as I was talking, no, I wasn't talking to you about the ticker. I was talking to someone else. Wow, what a dangerous move Mac Backham did.
Yeah, that was really...
I wouldn't even do that.
Risky.
That was into Hawthorne's Bend, turn 5.
Well, what, you mean get by cleanly?
Hey, blame the curb, okay? I passed you, as we're focusing on Hall here, I passed you on the outside going into turn 8, Sterling's Bend, right here. And the curb on the outside, I hung on that curb and it hit you and it wrecked you. I'm sorry.
I'm still going to give you crap about it.
All race long.
More fun that way. All race long.
As Marco Sidiacano now passes Jonathan Hall. 13th overall, a lap behind the prototypes. As I see his lap time here, he's now 14th. As I don't know why this is lagging so bad.
Mac Backham is currently just running away with this over Marco Sidiacano. As we saw last week, Marco was, I think he was second to Paul.
Yeah, they were having a nice battle last week. Mac Backham's really been on a charge this week. I was racing him in I think it was the Wednesday race, no, I got wrecked in the Wednesday race by a Ford. It was in a fixed series race.
You mean you wrecked Ford?
He was passing a Corvette and he just spun and crashed into the wall, and I was cheering yes, but he's a really fast driver. Let's see here.
Looks like Nick Tisson managed to get around Duarte Peters in G2 for 3rd that lap. Not exactly sure.
The fastest laps of the race here. Backham is quite a bit ahead of Marco Sidiacano. You see there 1:12.485, and Sidiacano's lap was a 1:13.199. He must be in a lot of traffic, as we're going to scroll through here. And it closes. And my computer's on fire, effectively, so this will end well. If you hear a big burst of flames and then the broadcast cuts out, you know what happens. My house burned down. And then I wrecked a Ford.
So you wrecked.
So we're going to go through the field here, and we're going to focus on Timo Verhulst in car number 19. It says here in timing and scoring that he's the leader of GT1, although I'm not sure.
I think that's still leaving in Jordan. Still lapping.
Well, oh, okay.
Mine says leaving in Peter and then Timo.
Because timing and scoring on my screen has two different colors for the GT2 cars, GT cars. So let's go up to leaving Draconogen in car number 5. Here he is.
Back was just putting stomping on Marco Sidiacano and Andy Fuller. He put out a 10.5 second gap in about 10 laps. So he's lapping about a second faster per lap than anyone else right now.
I want to figure out how to get IRTVO working without Aero, because that's a big issue here.
Oh, Marco City Econo just wrecked a Ford GT
Oh,
through turn 5, I think. Not sure what happened there.
so let's go see.
Probably just either dove up the inside or ran into, might have just ran into the back room.
Looks like he got some suspension damage. So he might be done. Right side damage on a City Econo's HPD.
That actually might have been, I think that was that Ford's fault. That Ford didn't hold a very predictable line there. Instead of just tracking out like he should have, he went inside, which is where City Econo was going to try to get past him, and City Econo just had nowhere to go.
So we're gonna.
So I'd put that on the Ford if Frank showed you there, not on a City Econo.
As my feed doesn't show that, that's fantastic. So City Econo makes it to the pit lane. And this broadcast is an absolute disaster, as I am really
Okay.
sad. But we're still going to do it, so don't you worry. As a City Econo has pulled off the track, I think he's done.
Yeah, I'd say he's out of it.
As contact in the back with Hoogmans in the HPD, and by this rate we'll only have like one HPD at the end of the race.
Well, the way Mac Backman's going, he might as well only be one HPD. I mean, it's 10.5 second gap to Andy Fuller, and then it's another 20 seconds back to Hoogman. GT2 leaders are about a half second apart from one another, though. Jonathan Hall and David Garcia. And that's the Black Rebels racing car.
I think Hoogmans might have bumped into that GT1 car. Although I'm not exactly sure, I wasn't paying attention. I'm still trying to manage this, because we have massive issues with our frames here. The leader is Mac Backham in Prototype 2. There he is. He sponsors himself, apparently, with a big Ferrari logo on the front. And the Sparco logos aren't lined up. I meant to tell him that when we were on the grid. The Sparco logos aren't lined up. But I didn't.
Okay. Just a little OCD there for Josh.
Well, I can't exactly cover the race when it's a slideshow, so I have to have stuff to talk about. So we're on lap number 11, just under 50 minutes to go, so it's a long way to go for us to have 10 frames a second. That's great. As that turn 1, oh, he ran it wide. He could have just broken his car, because there's a landmine in that corner. A lot of people don't like it.
He ran wide, Mac?
He ran it shallow. The HPD, well, that's what I do. In turn 1, you're supposed to go all the way to the green AstroTurf stuff, and he didn't, so I don't know.
Brave man.
He's a
We have a
brave
three-way
man.
battle here in GT2 between Nick Piss and Matt Orr and RJ Pierce. I think they've been pretty much at it since the start.
And Mac tries the inside. Oh, that could have ended in tears.
Matt and Nick are both very well versed in this car. I think I've run with Duarte as well. All fast guys, all clean.
As this is a very dangerous spot to try and pass as an HPD. I tried it. Yes, in turn 8 I tried it. And I wrecked.
You wrecked yours truly. That's okay. I forgive him in such a way that I mock him on a live broadcast with his own company.
Yeah.
Anyways, it worked out. Everyone's happy.
As in the pit lane is Gino Scarpino Sr. without a front end. Unfortunate for him. As I try with my company to have an element of comedy. I try and broadcast the action, and I also try and make people laugh so they come back. Because if it's just me and some guy I wrecked, you know, it won't be very fun.
I'm going to go ahead and resist the easy joke right there, but...
Do it!
I was going to say it's just because your company's such a joke. Anyway.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're fired. You're not even working for me. Why can I fire you? I think he just walked out of the commentary box. Yeah. He's gone. Bye.
I'm still here.
Oh, I thought you left.
Nope. So Nick Sisson running third. He's got a Neo library. He's trying to get word out on the Neo series, the Endurance series. They're running or 2 weeks from now, in VIR.
You'll be running that, though, I believe.
Yes, I will. I'll be in the Mustang.
That'll be fun.
Assuming I qualify, which I should.
You're going to hop on a helicopter and go to VIR right now and qualify?
No. So we're only down to 3 HPDs on the lead lap.
Wow.
Donald Fitterer just went a lap down. I think he wrecked.
So this is a lot. I mean, the idea that was pitched in the forums about having a P1 class, that would be 3 cars, and a P2. I mean, it would make sense because it'd be realistic to have 1,000 GT cars and then 4 prototypes.
Well, that's what we had in this race.
I just think if they were able to, if they could scan the Peugeot from 2010, that'd be amazing. As this is very dangerous that Backham's doing. Oh, don't try it! Oh, he's trying it anyway. He's through.
Max is very, very good. I never had an issue with him when I was running from it.
You never had an issue with me until turn 8.
Yeah, I never had an issue with you until I did.
I'm probably going to be the instigator of the jokes. I enjoy laughing, even if it's at myself.
So Jonathan Hall and David Garcia are putting a pretty good gap between themselves and the rest of the GT2 class. Levin, Joykinen, and Peter Ridley's actually closing in on leaving. I'm not sure exactly what.
In the GT1 battle,
Yep, this is a battle for the lead.
We didn't really have time to cover anything as we were more having hardware issues. In Le Mans style racing, there are typically 4 classes, but in this series there are 3. You can scrap out the P1 cars that we've been discussing because the P1 cars aren't in this series. There's the HPD, which is the Prototype 2 car, the Corvette, which is GT1, and the Ford GT, which is GT2, and it's a real problem when the slowest class is the most popular class.
That's not a problem. But again, maybe I'm biased to the Ford drivers. Because I remember the days when there were like 30 HPDs and like 4 Fords per class.
Oh, I remember that. It was kind of annoying having...
It was terrible.
That's where there should be more of... There would be more of a P1 class and a P2 class to divvy them up, and then have the GT cars. But it seems like this series is getting healthier by every week it goes by. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, there's about more and more drivers every week. Andy Fuller makes his way around. Matt Orr currently working on Nick Sisson, coming down the front straightaway. Andy Fuller running second in P2.
Because I'm going to get the ticker back going again, as that was
behind him.
A needed feature. William Leveik has retired. Apparently, yes he did, as it says he's...
Yay.
Oh, that sorts by class. Okay, I was not paying attention. He's 10th in GT1 and he retired. And the ticker's lagging really bad, so we're going to have to close that. As this is a really bad thing, and I really apologize for this.
Matt Orr goes up the inside of Nick Sisson.
Oh, that could have ended in... that ended in tears.
Nope, Nick's still in it.
To the outside.
Get around too, and Nick's probably not going to be very happy about that. Matt really did run kind of wide, but...
As I don't really recognize liveries, I'm trying to recognize numbers. Car 23. Yes. I thought that was Orr.
Gray car is Nick, orange car is Dorsey, and then the black car is Matt.
Yeah, there he is. I'm thinking of Richard Soboleski.
Nick goes off.
Nick's off in turn 7. This series is unique. It's not like the oval side where you have so many people that every race is different. I mean, you've got such a little dedicated group. You can get to know the guys and their cars and their paint schemes, I should say.
Yeah, it's a lot more like a league than it is an official series.
Exactly. Just like the Lotus 79, I believe, has the same... Most of the roadside has the same thing.
There's only a few few cars that really don't have that. Star Mazda maybe, but even that, I think is one of the most popular cars.
As you were
Still a
saying,
lot of the same names over and over and over.
you were saying before we came on air that you can get a race at every time of the day in the Star Mazda.
Really popular. Someone, this GT1 car off behind him somewhere at turn 3.
As I press the Windows key, and that's not very good. As the original plan with ASN was to make it seem like this was real life, but when I press the Windows key and everything fails, I have to make it not real life, and that's kind of unfortunate. But you know what? I'll get these issues ironed out soon.
Oh, that Jasper Norway blocked the GT2 car, or LMP2 car. There's another one that's going really slow. There's a car that doesn't have a front clip that for some reason is not pitting. That's Gino Scarpino. He doesn't have a front fender. He really needs to pit. He's just
I'm surprised. I mean,
around.
you won't get a meatball from that. Yesterday, Paul Ilbrink had an accident with Mac Backham. I believe it was with Mac, as there was an interesting GT battle. He had an incident with, I believe, 5 minutes to go, and I was praying that he had to get a meatball because I wanted to get on the podium and spray the champagne, but I obviously didn't. He ran around the track, and he fell to about 5 seconds in front of me off the lead lap, and he didn't pit. He didn't get a meatball. I'm surprised, because at this track, if you don't have a front clip at all, you should get a meatball, because going into this corner, turn 5, it wouldn't be very nice to go through the corner and crash. As he's trying, oh, that's not going to end very well, don't try it. He's not trying it good.
Yeah, driving, I mean, there's much damage to that front end. I mean, he's going to have no front grip at all in that car.
He's driving a wheel and modified, apparently.
More or less. I mean, as David Garcia is starting to, looks like he's starting to reel in Jonathan Hall a little bit. Second, first place.
It's about a 1.5 second gap if timing and scoring is being nice to me. Oh, that's nifty. You can double-click the driver's name in timing and scoring, and it'll bring the camera right to them. That's really nifty.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. This is my second time using IRTVO. Quit making fun of me.
Oh, you didn't even need to do it on IRTVO. It does that in the interface as well. Yeah, Mac Backham is just putting a stomping on everybody right now.
My timing and scoring is not updating. It's putting Marco Sidiacano 36, or it says Andy Fuller is P1.
Well, Arsenio Cano is 36 because he wrecked out and he's 10 laps down.
I'm trying to reload my timing and scoring because it's all messed up.
I just heard the Windows tone.
This reminds me of when ESPN put 4 commentators in the commentary box and just told them talk instead of being professional. I think it was a Michigan race for the Nationwide Series.
Well, it's NASCAR. I mean, you can't have too high a standard.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so that happened. Commence that flame more on the forums of what I just stirred up there.
Oh, great.
Let's see if there's any...
Oh, no, my Mac! Okay, that... Well, I've tried that before. I tried that with a Ford that was behind you, and then in turn 8 I wrecked you. So, yeah.
I know that feeling.
Of being wrecked?
Yeah.
I got wrecked by a Ford in turn 9 on Wednesday. It wasn't very fun. Were you in that race? The Wednesday hot split?
Nope.
Nope.
Yes, I was. Actually. And I wrecked. I think it was Peter Lindsay in turn 4 trying to pass him. I pushed a little wide and nudged him.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was right behind you and then you just drove off the road. I was like, well.
I didn't just drive off the road.
Yes, you did. Don't give me that crap. You drove off the road. You decided to take the scenic route.
Hey, why don't you just make sure your computer doesn't crash? We got a huge clump of cars right here going through turn 5 and 6. There's like 5 Ford GTs Click on Jonathan Hall.
So let's go up here.
Four GTs, a GT1 car, an LMP2 car.
Oh my god, a huge clump of cars.
As David Garcia is loving this, he's made up all sorts of time on Jonathan Hall because of this. He's probably caught up. Now he's losing time though, so never mind. I take that back. As they're touching going out of turn 9, I don't know.
As it's really bad when a Corvette is faster than your HPD down the straightaway. That happened to me yesterday.
I don't think you should have that issue ever.
I was going down into turn 5 and the Corvette was right on my bumper.
Wonderful. Oh, never mind. So, David Garcia, who at first it looked like he was going to be pretty happy due to all that traffic, I think he's actually ended up losing time because of it.
Car number 5, that's Levin Draconogen, leader in GT1, I believe.
Peter Ridley is 2 cars behind him. I believe they are teammates? No, I lied.
Dirty liar. You're a dirty wrecker and a dirty liar.
Peter Ridley is Infinity Esports driver. And I know that because it says it on the side of his car.
You know how to read. I'm proud of you.
Barely.
I don't know where cars are in my peripheral vision, so it's okay.
As a car without a nose is still lapping at an insanely slow speed. I mean, his last lap was a 21.3.
That's on pace with the Fords, isn't it?
No, that's on pace with the
So just slap a GT1 logo on his car. You'll be good to go.
Actually, that's 3 seconds per lap faster than the GT1.
So just put a PC logo on his car. You'll be fine.
Yep. Might as well. As Mac Backham is off the racetrack. Backham got wrecked. Mac Backham got wrecked.
Wow, and we missed that.
Yes, we did.
Wow, this is what we do at ASN. We miss
You
wrecks.
know where he got wrecked at?
Where?
Turn 8.
What? So we're going to take a look here at what just happened with Mac Backham.
Our Vogel Pete, it's the exact opposite of what happened between you and me. The Ford GT got on the curb and got sideways.
And he's not very happy. The text is, "Are you effing kidding me?" So, spectator chat lighting up. GT got sideways. Don't race if you can't keep your effing car under control. So we're loading up the replay here. And here we are. So here it is
Andy Fuller
in
the P2 lead.
slow motion replay. You see the Ford on the curb, and in the wall goes Mac Backham in car number 1. So he is out of the race. So that leaves us with what? 1 prototype on the lead lap?
2.
Who's the other
He's
one?
got a Frank Hoogman, and he's got a 45-second deficit to Andy Fuller. So either Hoogman is on an early pit strategy, or he's lapping at about the same pace. So I don't know why.
No, no, I thought he pitted. That was Scarpino that pitted.
As Andy Fuller's getting into some interesting situations in traffic too. So the Corvette off the road they passed.
So this is pretty much his race with half an hour to go. We're halfway through.
Yeah, but it was also Max Backham's race just a lap ago, so things can change quickly.
I should say it, and it'll jinx him, and then he'll probably come to my house and burn my house down.
You know what's going to happen? I bet Gino Scarpino, who's currently
He's gonna win the race.
is going to win the race.
The Whelen Modified's gonna win the race.
Yep.
Yep, calling it right now.
Corvettes are...
Or, better yet, all the P2 cars are going to crash, and there's going to be a Corvette that wins overall. That would be odd to see.
If another LMP car wrecks out, we will have a GT1 car on the podium overall.
Oh, wow.
Which is almost as bad as the league race I did, where we almost had a Ford GT on the podium at Road Atlanta
That's
with these classes of cars.
Is that as bad as Penske winning almost every race overall in 2008 in a P2 car?
So Levin Joykin and Peter Ridley, I think, are the closest battle on track right now for GT1. They've been at it the entire 36 minutes we've been running. They should have pit stops coming here in about 20 minutes. They should have to stop.
As this is the point in the race, when you cross the halfway point, as I believe Ridley just got a 1X, this is the point in the race where you just, at least me, I have trouble focusing, so I have to end up slapping myself in the face when I go down the straightaways to focus.
I think, no, you ended up slapping me.
That could be taken in many different ways.
Well, my car was wrecked, so I certainly felt emasculated. Anyway.
You hit the wall with the front and your rear wing broke. How does that happen?
Magic?
What is this sorcery? As
God. This is going on YouTube.
It will be on ASN On Demand around probably 8 a.m. tomorrow, as I promised myself I was going to schedule when we upload these things. It'll be up whenever, and I'll post on the forums. As our original plan was to do ASN Radio Live, but that lagged. We were going to do 720, and that lagged. So, yeah, I hope you're enjoying this race. We're about halfway through here at Brands Hatch. Randy Chenowth alongside Josh Mertz in the commentary box. And
Hello.
we're blabbing about nothing. And let's do a quick race rundown. What happened? There's now 3 prototypes in the race.
Prototypes have been cut in half, basically.
Yeah, there's... You know what's bad when there are...
Andy Fuller's getting hung up by the Corvette.
Oh, that could have ended in tears.
It still might, actually.
As these Corvettes sound really good.
Yeah, the Corvettes are great.
I contemplated buying the Corvette. Have you ever driven the Corvette?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Better than the HPD?
Well, I mean, anything better than a watered down downforce vest, but so yes. Sorry, HPD love. Yeah, the Corvette's fun.
I contemplated going for the season championship in the Ford, but that was when there was 4 Fords in one race.
Depends on your division, really. Overall championship is going to be very, very hard fought. Jonathan Hall's running great. David Garcia runs sporadically. I don't think he's really a regular. But he's fast as well. Nick Tisson, Robert DeRuge, Jasper Gruneweg. There's a lot of fast people that run. And then you get into some of the aliens like Rupe and Nick Prestige. Prestige, however you pronounce it.
So Hoogmans is in second, and Donal Fitterer is in third overall. And he's going to lap Scarpino again. As Hoogmans, I'm trying to find him here.
I'm actually impressed with the fact that Scarpino hasn't wrecked anybody yet.
Knock on wood.
Himself. Because that car has to be a complete handful with no arrow. And Andy Fuller.
Maybe he's not pitting because they're going to retire the car if he pulls into the pit lane. Oh, don't... Oh, that could have ended bad. Oh, he's off. No, he's not. Never mind.
Are you watching the same race I am, Josh?
Yes. It looks like that Ford is car 30.
Levin Joykin, who's leading GT1, just wrecked.
Wow.
Yeah, turn 8.
Turn 8. That claims everyone, including you.
Well, technically it claimed you, and then you claimed me.
The curb claimed me. The turn didn't claim me.
And it was the same thing.
I was on the straightaway, and the curb kicked me into you.
Laban Joikinen was coming to turn 8, and the car ahead of him, that was the GT1 car, he was getting ready to put a lap down, got on the curb and got loose and turned the car sideways. And just turned right into Joikinen. Peter Ridley almost got caught up in it as well.
So Peter Ridley is in 4th, leading GT1. And he's close to getting on the podium overall. So let's go on board. Let's go in the roll bar camera of the Corvette. And you can go ahead and crank up the volume for this one.
And we're starting to see pit stops. Liam Stroud exiting the pits after his flashing dash.
So we're going to get back on an exterior camera here. GT2 battle. That is car 23 Pires around car, what is that, 22?
I don't think that was for position. Oh, yes it was. I lied.
My timing and scoring is all messed up. That was for position.
I think we're getting pit stops, so positions are getting kind of jumbled. Because Dorche was running up toward the top 5. So we missed someone fitting.
There we go. My timing and scoring works now, and it's all organized. So by class, 4th overall, Peter Ridley leading in GT1. Jonathan Hall is 9th overall, leading in GT2. There's only 3 prototypes remaining that are in the race, and Andy Fuller has lapped the entire field.
Yep. The only car that has not been lapped by Andy Fuller is Andy Fuller.
Why am I laughing so hard at that?
As Peter Ridley, Donald Fitter went in the pits, and Peter Ridley is currently running 3rd overall. Which Donald should be able to come back out and pass him. He's not that far behind him. But.
So we have 25 minutes left. It's effectively the distance of a fixed series race, so that's when everyone forgets how to drive.
I don't think anyone in the fixed series knew how to drive.
I did. Well, aside from that one time at Sonoma when I turned on the start and wrecked the entire field. I don't know if you were in that, but I barrel rolled across the start-finish line. It wasn't very fun.
Yeah, I've done those. Although I'm thinking more of a Frederick in a near the TFR Touring Cup race. Turn 1, Frederick Hollowstad. At the start of the race, goes through turn 1 and walks his way in and wrecked about 35 cars in a 45 car field. Multiple classes. That was a thing of beauty. As Jonathan Hall has separated himself quite a bit from David Garcia. Got about a 4-second gap, I'd say. Jonathan has been great all week this week. Yesterday he got his first win in Proto GT, and right now if he keeps driving the way he is, on to win number 2 in that Morgan Schoolie car.
And Donald Fitcherer is trying to catch Frank Hoogmans for 2nd overall, and in prototypes.
3rd overall. Oh no, never mind.
Wait, 3rd overall. Yeah, Peter Ridley is 3rd overall. My timing and scoring doesn't update according to their position, and that's kind of annoying.
As Peter Ridley separated himself from Daniel Montiel, pretty good. Probably about a 10-second gap. That's first and second in GT1. Although third is Stefano Girali, and he's about 4 seconds back from Danny. Timo's right behind him. Timo Girls. Fourth.
Oh, contact! Car 16, that is Jasper Groeneweg. He bumped into Fitterer, and that gives him rear end damage. I think he has wheel damage. Left rear. We might see Peter Ridley on the overall podium if Fitterer has to pit. That's torn up left rear. Yeah. Nope, he's not pitting. Thought he was going to.
So long as he doesn't have a meatball, I mean, there's really no point for him to. I mean, it's not like he's going to lose anything really at this point if he just stays out.
Oh, spins it!
Oh, as he spins it. So maybe he should. I take everything I just said back.
Oh, he's going to pull out in front of traffic.
Is he going to tow it? Is he stuck?
He can't be. He's waiting. Oh, no, no, no. Don't do that. Oh, you're just getting 1X's all over. He's going to loop it again. Left rear is destroyed on that car, I think.
Yeah. I haven't really driven the HPD, but I know that it's probably basically made out of glass in terms of the way parts of
The way it's strange. Depending on where you hit, it can be a tank or it can be like glass. The wheels are like glass, but if you hit the sides of the rear wing, it's like a tank. Yeah, the left rear is definitely messed up on Donnell Fitterer's car, and that puts Peter Ridley to third overall with 21 minutes remaining.
Peter Ridley is about 3/4 of a lap ahead of Fitterer. I should know I lied. It's less than that. It's about half a lap. I was incorrect. And Fitterer is down to 6th currently after that spin. And goes into the pit.
He has to pit.
Probably got a meatball or...
We shall see Donnell Fitterer down the pit lane in the HPD. Let's see what happens here. Will he retire the car? Let's see if they jack it up. Sitting in the pit box. Is he getting fuel?
Well, he pit earlier, so he doesn't need fuel. The only reason he's in right now is for repairs.
This is going to seal him from being... Oh, no, there's 20 minutes. He can catch and lap the GT1 cars.
I don't know. Depending on how far ahead they can get.
I mean, like I said earlier,
How long is there?
down the straightaway, the GT1 car is just as fast, if not faster than the HPD, depending on your gears.
Yeah, it's close. As Jasper survived the curve.
And I think Fitterer is sitting in pit lane waiting for all this damage to be repaired.
It's probably going to sit there for a few minutes and then it's going to pop up, we're done. I know I've had that happen. It's pretty frustrating.
As everyone flies by car number 27. Meanwhile, back up front, Andy Fuller has had this race pretty much to his own. We're on lap...
Yeah. He just lapped Frank Wickman again, I believe.
Lap number 36. Michael Booth. Oh, he's... Never mind. That was on the Spectator channel. That wasn't in the race. Andy Fuller has led 13 laps. Matt Backham had 22. I think Acidio Cano, he didn't lead any. As I've been meaning to say all race long, you could follow ASN. We were planning to have some social media integration to our radio broadcast that we're not running so far. fb.me/automotive sports network, twitter.com/ASNTV_USA, hashtag ASNTVUSA. If you like what you see that's filled with comedy and laggingness that we're going to try and fix, that we hope to fix, I blame it on 40 Cars and Randy. ASN TV USA. ASN TV USA, gmail.com for any inquiries. Oh, that could have ended in tears. GT car way off in the rallycross section of the course. Well, you got to remind him that this is the asphalt circuit, not rallycross. As there's smoke around car 37. Starkweather. ASN TV USA, gmail.com for a broadcast inquiry. Check asntv.tk. Go to the Need a Broadcast or Want a Broadcast, whichever I title the page, and it will give you the details as to what you will get here on the Automotive Sports Network. As Andy Fuller has...
You know the HPD that's run without a nose?
Yes.
He's third in class at the moment.
Third in class is Gino Scarpino. Wow. I think it was a smarter idea to stay out than pit, because Fitter is still sitting in pit lane.
Yeah, he's got extensive damage to that car. I don't know what exactly happened, but definitely severe. Second and third in class GT1 are about 2 seconds apart. Stefano Urelli and Guillermo Viros. I'm sure I'm butchering that name, but oh well.
Grioli and Verhost are right on each other. Timing and scoring says about a second.
About a second. So we got about 15 minutes left. Who do you think is going to win in each class? I mean, except for P1, obviously, or P2, obviously.
Well, we've seen earlier on in the race that Backham crashed, Acidiacano crashed. If something happens to Fuller, I mean, there might not be a winner in Prototype 2. Well, would there be a winner if... Well,
yes, there would be a winner in Prototype 2, but they wouldn't win overall.
Yes.
Peter... Even though Core GT doesn't win overall, there's still winners in Core GT, Josh.
Hey, shut up. Turn 8.
Turn 8?
GT1, Peter Ridley's got an 18-second lead over Guriali, so he's got that. And GT2, Jonathan Hall has had this on lock.
Yeah, John's been really impressive this week. He's always in the forums, and he's been posting that for a while. It's great to see him running up front.
One person I don't see in this race today is Jonathan Butel, the main slow Ford.
He's in there. He's running 15th.
He is in this race, is he?
15th. He's 15th overall right now.
He is, okay.
Back patch mark.
Because I didn't notice. Oh yeah. Wow, I paid attention. Because I was going to say he's the big organizer of this Saturday, Sunday races. If you like what you see here and you're a racer and you don't care to have your races broadcast, that's perfectly fine by me. You should join us here in the iRacing.com Prototype GT Challenge. Wednesdays at, I think it's 8:30 Central Time, is the American Hot Split. Thursdays at, I think it's 12:30 Central Time. That's Chicago time for any of you Europeans. That's the European Thursday split. And then 12:30 on both Saturday and Sunday p.m. Central Time, the hot split for both Americans and Europeans. So this series has a dedicated following. As we mentioned earlier, there's a diehard group of guys that you can recognize their schemes, you can recognize them, and it's almost like a league inside of an official series here in iRacing, the Prototype NGT Challenge. As Verhost is pushing really hard to catch Gurali. Really hard.
Yeah, he wants that second class really bad.
Ridley's got first in GT1 and third overall on lock. I think Fitterer has finally retired the car. Yes, he has. He's retired the car. So we have 3 prototypes on the track. And one of them is a wheel-in modified.
Yeah, some people are saying that he should pit, but the third in class. But I mean, really, as long as he can keep it on track, there's really no point. Which I mean, I don't think we've seen him have any issues past the actual wreck, as we have not about 9 minutes left here. So now is when we get interesting. We see if anyone's been fuel saving and when pit stops happen. And there should be some people that still have to pit.
Because I haven't been paying attention to that aspect of the race. It says Fuller already pitted, Hoogman's already pitted, so those two cars should be okay.
Well, even if Fuller does have to pit, he has a one-lap safety barrier.
It says, oh, that's from the next car, I believe. Timing and scoring says 1 lap, and then 2 laps, and then the interval's 2 laps. I don't even know.
Numbers are hard. But all these cars do have to pit. Those aren't familiar with Proto GT. They all have to make a short flash and dash. Generally about 4 gallons of fuel, 5 gallons of fuel or so. Kind of depends on car to car. The HPD can be a little different. You fancy drivers can alter your fuel consumption level.
I finished my race yesterday with half a gallon in the tank, and I ran the last 5 minutes on fuel setting 1 instead of 8.
I finished my race yesterday. I sputtered as I crossed the finish line.
After you got wrecked.
Well, obviously.
Off the track, Ford GT. As he comes by, that is car 12, Andy Frame.
In the pit, he's running 3rd in class, Ford. Robert DeRouge, he's running 4th. He's another really strong driver. He got passed by Matt Orr. If Matt's already pit, Matt might be on his way to 4th in class. Which is a great finish considering there's like 20 cars and some of these names are, you know, there's some really fast guys. Robert DeRouge, William Stockman, Jasper Gunaway against the Crane. Jonathan Boutel.
Hall has pulled away. He's got a now my incompetence is coming up with me. 7-second gap, over David Garcia in car number 4. So it's about a straightaway in the Ford GT. Scarpino is 10th overall in the Whelen Modified. It's a new class in the Prototype GT Challenge. No? Okay. I tried.
No.
I try to be a comedian sometimes, and it doesn't work. I'm sorry.
The only funny thing about you is your driving, Joe. I can just stop. Anyways.
Turn 8?
Turn 8.
As Andy Fuller's coming around to lap him, I believe, again. Coming to 9 minutes and 35 seconds right about now.
Oh, that was close.
That could have ended in tears.
Especially considering the landmine through that corner.
We saw in the Wednesday race, Derek Murray hit the landmine, and his engine died with 4 turns to go.
Oh, wonderful.
And I'm not going to get into details, but the Ford that wrecked me blocked the track, and that nearly ended in tears. Derek didn't win the race. He lost by 2 seconds.
Peter Ridley's putting on plenty of GT1.
Off the track, Scarpino. Maybe the podium is going to get confused and they're going to have a podium ceremony for the Whelen Modifieds.
Maybe. For the, I just didn't realize that there was an open wheel class, really.
He's 3rd in class, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, the attrition rate in the HPDs is, I mean, that's half the cars. Especially when you figure that only about 15% of the cars that started are on the lead lap. And that's 1.
The only car that Andy Fuller hasn't lapped
is Andy Fuller.
That gets me every time.
You'd have to get into some theoretical physics to figure out how he could do it. But oh, and Andy Fuller boots Sergio Garcia almost off the track.
Oh, that could have ended in tears.
That could have been bad.
I want to ask you on air, have you had fun sitting next to me in the commentary box?
It's been a jolly good time commenting on turn 8 and pretty much nothing else of the race.
The only thing that we've been talking about is turn 8 and the occasional HPD crashing as Fuller passes Butel. When I started this company, I didn't want people saying, oh, as he goes into turn 1. I didn't want him to be professional, as it is elite time here in Chicago area. 1337, 1:37 p.m. We're getting close to the end here.
America. California land.
6 minutes, 50 seconds, and counting left to play here at Brands Hatch, here for the Sunday iRacing.com Prototype GT Challenge race. And it's the second week in succession that we have problems here at the Automotive Sports Network, as we have a Ford off the track. Looks like he has damage. I can't see the number. It's Varvoglai Peter, who wrecked Mac Backup. So Mac says. I didn't. Looked like Peter was on the curb, and it was turn 8 all over again in reverse rolls.
Okay, we're about to have a real interesting battle here for third place in GT2 between Matt Orr and Nick Sisson. Matt had a couple car length advantage, but the cars spun in front of him and he had to check up. And Sisson has got around him, so the battle's pretty much on for the next 2.5 minutes left in the race.
My timer says 5:50.
I'm just going off the last time up in the corner, which is at 1:02:52.
That, I believe it counts warm-up.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, go to Matt Orr and Nick Sisson, and they're side by side.
Yes, I am here on the screen. They are battling to the death out of turn. The Westfield Bend going up to Dingle Dell. Sheen Curve. I feel like an idiot saying these corner names. Sterling's Bend, turn 8. Our favorite corner here with the two men in the commentary box. Gonna come
a rich and intertwined history with turn 8.
through Clearways and Clark Curve down the Brabham Straight. These two are battling to the death for third, the final spot on the podium in GT2. Both of them want to get a bottle of champagne because there's a car in the pit lane, but he's been sitting there for a while. I don't know who it is. If you could take a check down there for me, please.
That is Richard Lishman, but like you said, he's been there for a while, I do believe. Yeah, he's been there, he's just chilling. I think he basically just dropped out and didn't show for some reason.
As this has been one crazy attrition-filled race here at Brands Hatch. 4.5 minutes left to go.
And this track is really narrow. And with these classes, it's kind of a bad idea to run these cars on this track, to be honest.
Next week we'll be at a more normal track of Sebring. And the Automotive Sports Network will be there, as we won't have to worry about turn 8. The Automotive Sports Network will be there. I will be there in the commentary box on Sunday. If you'd like to join me, Randy, in the commentary box next Sunday, you are welcome to.
Sure.
And the week after that is Watkins Glen. So that
I won't be there that day. I'll be in the NEWA race.
That would be just as bad.
Oh, That's okay. That's Watkins Glen. That's a boring track.
Well, I thought this track was boring until I drove it. You need balls of steel. Very large attachments, as David Hobbs would say. And if the FCC monitored my broadcasts, I would be out of business already. But GT2 battle is still heating up, as Orr is all over the back of Nick Thyssen.
Nick goes a little bit wide through that corner. Matt might be able to dive on the inside here. As he does. Oh, nope. Not close enough.
We're inside Matt Orr's Ford GT now, the Momo steering wheel, as I'm the one who noticed the Momo steering wheel. It's
I don't know. Should I congratulate you on that?
maybe. As we're going to stay on board for a little bit here to see if he can catch Nick Thyssen, as there's not much going on, as Ridley has a 28.5 second gap over Stefano Gurali. So this is the battle on the track. as Hall has a 9-second gap over Garcia, and Fuller has lapped the entire field except for Andy Fuller.
Behind him, Robin DeRuge and Stockman are both over as well. That's for, what is that, 5th and 6th, I believe?
As this car looks like a blast, as there's obviously 20 cars in this class.
4 GTs is a ton of fun. Ton of fun.
Oh, he's pushing so hard on the back bumper now, Nick Thyssen. He looks to the inside. We're still on board, as this is the best picture, as out of turn 3, or turn 2 I should say, Druid's Bend. He looked, he ran a little bit wide trying to get a run on Nick Thyssen. He looks to the inside. He's side by side with him going into turn 4. Can he do it? Thyssen's on the outside. He runs it wide. Matt Orr is through. What a battle!
They should have another lap after this, I do believe. It'll be interesting to see.
As he did not let up. What a battle between Nick Thyssen and Matt Orr for 3rd place. The last step on the podium in GT2.
That's no foul play by Matt there. Matt ran him hard. There's no contact or anything. Nick just ran himself wide.
So we're going to check where Andy Fuller is and see if we are getting close to the last lap. This should
Andy's coming through turn 8.
Should be coming back to the last lap now. So he comes off of corner number 9, Clark Curve. Down the Brabham straightaway. Let's see if timing and scoring gives us the white flag lap. As still green, it looks like. It might change to white when the ticker or the timer runs out. As he's going to come up on this 3rd place battle in GT2. Let's see what happens. But this is your leader in prototype and overall. He's got a lap ahead of Frank Hoogmans.
Right now, Thyssen is hoping that Fuller waits until this next straightaway. And then after that, he's hoping that... now he's hoping that he ends up holding up Matt somehow, which doesn't look like it's going to happen.
As he flies by Matt Orr.
Yeah, got away clean.
And we are on the last lap. Timer expires here at Brands Hatch.
As Nick is sliding, he just slid through turn 5.
He's pushing really hard to try and catch Matt Orr. Yeah, I was zoning out there. I was paying attention to Andy Fuller, and I thought for a second I called... Okay, never mind. I'm retarded.
Yes, you are. So, they're going through turn 8.
Here comes Andy Fuller, out of clearways, through Clark Curve. He's got a lap ahead of the rest of the field, but your winner overall in Week 3 is Andy Fuller in prototype and overall here at Brands Hatch. We're going to go to Peter Ridley, who I believe already finished the race, although I'm not sure.
No, he's got about 3/4 of a lap left.
So Fuller is your winner in Prototype 2. Frank Hoogmans is in 2nd. And Gino Scarpino in the Wheeler Modified wins his class. Oh, I mean, he's 3rd in Prototype 2. No? Okay. I'm trying.
I'm laughing. I'm trying not to laugh too hard.
Trying not to laugh too hard at my failed jokes or at my... I don't even know.
At your driving. Anyways. Peter just has to cruise here the rest of this lap, coming through turn 7, up to a 3rd and infamous bend. Now coming down to turn 9.
Gonna come through Clearways and through Clark Curve. Peter Ridley, out of the final turn, Clark Curve, down the Brabham Straight. He is your winner in GT1.
Jonathan Hall's right behind him, coming through turn 9.
And
in the Morgan Stanley Ford GT.
He wins GT2 as he weaves in a victory celebration has already started. So let's go through the results here from Brands Hatch. There we go. Let's go through the results here from Brands Hatch. Your winner, classification after 51 laps. Your winner, Andy Fuller. in car number 2. Then Frank Hoogman's a lap down in second. Peter Ridley finishes third overall in the GT1 Corvette. Stefano Guriali is in second. And then it is Timo Verhulst in third. Daniel Montiel, Thorsten Kuipers, Gino Scarpino, who is third in Prototype 2. Then it's Jonathan Hall, winner in GT2. David Garcia, second in GT2. Matt Orr had a nice battle with Nick Thyssen late in the race. He gets third overall in GT2. Nick Thyssen fourth. Then it's Robert DeRouge, Wim Stockmans, Kevin Duell, Andy Frame, Jasper Gerwig, Duarte Pyres, Jonathan Butel, Sergio Garcia, as we're still going through GT2 here, Stephen Backus, Mike McCloskey, Michael Hogg, Jean-Philippe Dreyer, Varvlogi Peter, and Frank Schroeder is in GT2. Then it's Richard Lishman, who is in GT1. Dave Starkweather, GT1. Donnell Fitterer, Prototype 2. Liam Stroud, which is GT1, I believe.
Liam Stroud is GT2. Lieven Joykin GT1. Mikhail Schneider GT1. Mac Backham P2. Innes Stratner GT2. Howard McMillian GT2. Marco Arcidiacano LMP2. Thomas Hops GT2. William Levesque GT1.
As William Levesque was the pole sitter in GT1, and I believe he dropped out before the race even started.
Yeah, he lagged out and I think he crashed early.
As that was unfortunate for him. So an attrition-filled race here at Brands Hatch, as Turn 8 bit more than just me and Randy did yesterday. It bit a lot of people today. I'm glad that you guys joined us here on the Automotive Sports Network here at Brands Hatch. Next week, we will be at Sebring. The week after that, at Watkins Glen. I believe IGP Fun, Spec Racer Ford. We will be, I don't know exactly what track, but we will be there tomorrow. WCRA IndyCar is at Las Vegas. We don't have the contract for that, but we will be there the week after at Indianapolis, as that is the program schedule for the next few weeks. For more information, you can go to twitter.com/ASNTV_USA, fb.me/Automotive Sports Network, ASNTVUSA.tk, or go on the forums. I believe it's in the private hosted racing sub-forum, the Automotive Sports Network topic. So, for Randy Chenowth, who I wrecked in Turn 8, and Victor...
nothing to fear yourself.
Just fear about my driving. For Victor Valley, our creative producer, who I have no idea if he is in the studio. I don't know where he is. And for myself, Josh Mertz, that's the whole crew at ASN, as I really appreciate you guys joining us for this 65-minute attrition-filled race where a GT1 car finished on the podium. So, thank you for sitting and watching this broadcast, and I hope you have a nice week. We will see you next week at Sebring.